What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. It's been a minute. I know it's been a couple weeks. It's been kind of slow for me as far as recording. It's also been really, really busy with my day job. So, anyway, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It's a Warrior Wednesday. Gonna try and get back into this thing, get the routine going again. But in the meantime, there's a lot to unpack with the Warriors right now. We have a lot to talk about with Jonathan Kuminga. What is his demand on the market right now? And why are the Warriors kind of feeling like they're sitting by and watching the market kind of get eaten up? Cam Johnson's a guy that ended up going to Denver, and that's the one guy that I was really, really hoping the Warriors were going to go and try to make a play for. It didn't really happen. So the question right now is all the chips are not going to fall until the first chip, first big chip falls, and that is Jonathan Kuminga. So what is going to happen with Jonathan Kuminga? Well, the Warriors don't even really know. I know that they don't want to give up Kuminga for nothing. It's going to be a sign and trade if he ends up going somewhere else, which I believe is probably going to be the case because Jonathan Kuminga doesn't really fit into the system. I have not seen Jonathan Kuminga advance in the way that I would expect Jonathan Kuminga to advance as a player in the last 4 years. I just don't think he has a superstar potential in him. Maybe a good 2 or 3 guy, like I've been saying forever, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to lead a team, and I think that's where the Warriors have landed right now. So if that's the case, what is the demand out there for Kuminga? Well, we know that the Heat have some demand for a player like Kuminga and is interested a little bit. And now we know that the Bulls might be interested in him, which would be good because we want Vucevic. He's a really great center who can shoot. Pretty good defender, but a good shooter. Would fit in with this Warriors offense pretty darn well. That's the trade I think the Warriors are looking for right now. I think they're looking for Vucevic because that's the guy that is the most readily available for the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors have enough stock in players to trade for any big name players right now necessarily, unless they want to go ahead and gut their entire team, which I don't think they're going to do because remember, guys, they were very good with Jimmy Butler once he joined the team last year. They were like 27-2 or something in the last 28, 30 games of the season, whatever it was. It was spectacular. So the question is, do the Warriors really need to do anything? They don't really need to. If they want to get over the hump and really have a shot at a title, they need somebody who's a consistent shooter. I think bringing in a consistent shooter or at least a decent center will help that. Now, the name that I've heard for the last 2 or 3 days is Al Horford. Apparently, Al Horford is coming out of retirement and is hitting free agency, and the Warriors and the Lakers are 2 teams that are very interested in Horford. I think Horford's a little bit old to be a part of this Warriors team right now, but I would take him. He is definitely an upgrade. He makes the Warriors better today than yesterday if they sign him today. So he's definitely going to be a guy that I would take a look at in the short term to try and get a ring for Curry. If you can get Horford and you can trade Kuminga for Vucevic, then you've got something, or maybe you trade Kuminga for another shooter and then you're really, really onto something. If you keep Kuminga, which is possible, the Warriors don't have to get rid of Kuminga. If they think that Kuminga will fit in with this team somehow, or they think he's going to have a good year, then at trade deadline, his value is even higher. I think his value is pretty decent right now, considering how he played in the playoffs. But I don't see a guy who wants to be on this team. I honestly see a bit of a diva in Jonathan Kuminga, and maybe other people don't see that, but I see that, and I'll tell you why. A player of his a player of his athleticism, right, is a kind of player who should be advancing over the years. But if he's not buying into your system, if he feels like he should be the center of attention, if he just is too hard-headed to listen to anybody and grow because he thinks he's the best, well, then he's not going to. And guess what? He hasn't. So I said this on 95.7 The Game the other day, guys, and I'll say it again. There's 2 reasons why a player like Jonathan Kuminga doesn't advance to succeed. One is he just isn't good enough, and we haven't evaluated him properly. Number two is he won't. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. Either way, that's not a player you want on your team, right? So you could talk about Jonathan Kuminga ad nausea, and the only two things you're going to come up with are he's either too stubborn to learn and become a better player because he doesn't want to listen to anybody, or he's just not good enough, and he is hitting his ceiling where he's at right now. If he gets the ball 90% of the time, guys, he's going to score, and that's fine on teams that aren't very good. If you want to take off and go to the Wizards, go to the Pelicans, not even the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are a pretty good team. I don't know, good. I don't know if they're bad enough for him to be the center of attention, but you need a team that is really not a very good team that's willing to just give him the ball all the time. He's a ball-centric player. Kerr's system doesn't work like that. And Kerr's system is a hybrid of triangle, which means move the ball, move around, look for the best shot, take that shot, no matter who it is. And that's probably the way basketball should be played, in my opinion. But, hey, that's not the way some players thrive in the NBA. And I think Kuminga is one of those guys who just doesn't thrive that way. So trading him and getting a decent player in return, which I think they can, is not such a bad idea. So, hey, I think Kuminga's on his way out is my bottom line. I think that it's going to be a sign and trade, or I think he'll be traded at the trade deadline. But either way, he's not going to be with the Warriors long term. I don't really believe that. Anything can change. If we sit there and watch the Warriors halfway through the season and somehow he gels with this team, he learns something from maybe Jimmy Butler, who knows? Things can change. My attitude could change. But right now, what I've seen, it's not any different than 3 years ago, with Kuminga. So, listen, that is put to rest. I think he's going to be traded. I think it's a matter of time. It's early for anybody out there panicking and thinking the Warriors aren't getting involved in anything. Look, I would have loved for them to get involved in the Cam Johnson trade. I think they could have traded. They could have made that trade just as easily as Denver. I'm not sure why they didn't go in on that, or maybe they just didn't have the right asset. But I kind of feel like they could have pushed a little bit harder for Cam Johnson, because I thought that would have been a player that could have came in here and done something really great. But either way, we're moving on. Al Horford is not a bad option. He's a free agent. He's not going to cost a lot, and he's going to give you that center talent that you really need. He's got experience. He's older, but he's not walking around in a cane yet. I mean, he can play. So you get him in here and see what happens. I mean, there's other guys out there too that the Warriors are taking a look at. And so, I mean, Damian Lillard is not ready to go, but he's been released by the Bucks. I know the Warriors have had interest in him for a little while now. He's kind of held off trying to go to the Warriors for whatever reason. I don't really know, but he's held off on that. Maybe now it would be different. But is he going to be ready sometime this year? Not likely. Maybe towards the playoffs. I mean, I don't know. It's not likely. So when you're taking on somebody like Damian Lillard, you're talking about, signing a guy for next year, most likely. But hey, who knows? Maybe he's had some time to heal. Maybe, he probably will be ready sometime at the end of this season. So I take it back. When he was hurt, it's roughly a year. So he was hurt mid-season maybe. So yeah, actually, he would be ready sometime this season, I think. So, hey, Damian Lillard would be an awesome choice. You can go get yourself Lillard if you can. And listen, you don't have to trade anybody for that either. You can go get Lillard, right? And then you go out there, you get Horford, you trade Kuminga. Now you're talking about a team. Now you're talking about a team that could scare some people down the road a little bit. I mean, you're not going to take the shot away from Lillard. Lillard still can shoot the ball like crazy. And so even if he's slower, doesn't matter. You put Lillard and Curry on the court together, that's going to be a scary combination. I would love to see something like that happen. LeBron James, I don't love LeBron James. I don't even like LeBron James. But LeBron James is not going to be a Laker, I don't think, for too much longer, unless he retires after this year. But long term, I don't think that's going to happen. there's rumblings about him wanting to be traded. I would think that a LeBron James, Steph Curry duo would be scary for other players to have to go ahead and face. Let's see what happens. There are options out there, guys. It's still early. Free agency, it's early. So let's just wait and see what they do. I think the Warriors have some tricks up their sleeves. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger on just anybody. I think they want to get the right pieces around Curry. It makes sense. Curry is still playing very, very, very good basketball. I said I thought maybe he would retire after this contract at the end of the next 2 years. I don't know if that's actually true. It depends on if he gets that ring. If he doesn't get that ring and in 2 years he still feels good, it wouldn't surprise me for him to play a couple more years. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he wants it. But right now's the time to put guys around Curry that can shoot. We just need one or two more guys. One guy, take one shooter, okay? Trade Kuminga for a shooter, get Lillard, do something to get another shooter there. Sign Horford. Now you got Quentin Post and Horford. Quentin Post can learn from Horford a little bit. That would be a team that would be kind of scary. I like that team. I like that team a lot. So, guys, there's a lot to be happy about with the Warriors. I'm having a good time looking at the free agency market and seeing what they can do. I'm excited about what they're going to do. They already were such a better team with Butler, guys. Just don't forget that. When they start with Butler, start a new season, after he's had an off season to train with the team and get better, guys, no doubt this team is going to be good. They're going to be a playoff team right now, no matter what. But can they go for a championship? Well, get a couple more pieces, and it's there. It's there. If Curry was not hurt, you can say the what ifs. I'm going to say the what ifs all day long. I can say it now. I'm very confident if Curry wasn't hurt that they go to the finals. I'm very confident in that. I don't care what anybody else says. It's just my opinion. I think that series goes major league different if Curry isn't hurt. But he did. So anyway, that's that. Next season, I think, and I've said this for a long time, I've said I think next season, coming up, this coming season now, is the season where the Warriors can really make a push for a championship and go for it. I thought last season would have been icing on the cake if they could get it, because then I thought they'd go for 2 and go back-to-back. I really did. So now, let's see. Let's see what they do. Maybe they go for one more this next season. I don't think it's crazy to think that they could do that. There's other players out there, guys, that they can go for. There's lots of trades out there that are probably being talked about behind closed doors. We lost Looney to the Pelicans, by the way, and I like Looney. He didn't play much last year. It's okay. We lost Looney. Doesn't make the Warriors that much worse of a basketball team, to be honest. So maybe if you asked me that a couple years ago, my opinion would be different. But now I'd say it's okay. The Warriors got moves to make. We're going to make moves. They're going to look good. So anyway, let's keep following the Warriors. Keep watching it, guys. Keep watching the channel. Thank you very much for your support. I know it's been a couple weeks since I've recorded a podcast, but I'm going to try and up those numbers just a little bit more. It's been a very busy week for me outside of the podcast. Actually, week and a half outside the podcast. But I'm back. Guys, hey, just keep supporting me. I'll keep making the videos. Go Warriors. They're going to have a great team this year. Wait and see. The best teams don't jump at free agency right away and just go picking up the best talent on the market. They look for what's best for their team. Sometimes that is the best talent on the market. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they can't afford to do that, and they have to find that guy that fits into their price point, that can do the job. That's where we're at with the Warriors. Not a lot of teams have money right now, guys. Not a lot of teams have money. Almost nobody does. So you're looking for that guy who isn't going to cost a lot of money. They can come in and contribute. If that happens, the Warriors are going to be a great team because they already are good with Jimmy Butler. So anyway, guys, keep watching. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. I'll keep working for you. You keep watching. See you in the next one.